Hi boys and girls, so today in writing we are going to learn a little bit more about how to make our narratives better, right? Because we're always trying to make our writing better and we're always trying to improve on how we write. So we've learned how to add detail. We've learned what a narrative is, and it's a story about ourselves. So I'm not writing about you, I'm writing about me in my story today. And it's going to be we've learned how to add detail, what narratives are. We've learned from Mrs. Dykes about how to add our verbs into our story. So I jump into my car, I run to the front door, I sit at school, right? So you're learning all those kind of different words, our action words, which are verbs. And then we're working on how to add hooks, like bang, there goes the front door, or I licked, slurped my smoothie down, right? So we're adding those action words so then we know that that is a cool story. I want to keep reading if you would say, bang, there goes the front door. I want to find out how the front door went, and I want to find out why the front door is at the start of your story, right? So we're just learning all those kind of different things to make our narratives awesome. So today we're going to review a little bit about what we've already talked about, but it's really, really good to review. So we're going to learn about a big word called mechanics. Now, a mechanic is someone that works really, really hard on something. So if you're a car mechanic, or your dad or your mom or dad is, or you know somebody that's a car mechanic, they're going to go into the shop and they're going to work really, really hard on that one part so they can make sure their car works. So we're today going to work really, really hard on our writing to make sure that it sounds right and it works. So we have 3 things that are mechanics in our writing that we always should have. Okay? I want to see if you can guess by the way that I draw them on my picture. Give you a little hint. This one, I want this guy in our writing. I want these letters at the beginning of our sentences, right? So I want to use capital letters at the beginning of our sentences in our story, right? This one means I want to make sure that I have space in between my words, right? Because if you write that on the line down below with no spacing, it looks like a really, really long word. And I could look at it and say the cat is black because I could tell you that there's your spaces in between. But boys and girls, it looks messy if you do it that way. So we want you to make sure that you have spacing in between your writing, you have capital letters at the beginning of your sentences, and you have your lowercase letters in between the middle, and you have the last thing, you have punctuation throughout. So let's do our punctuation song together. You ready? Punctuation, punctuation. It is fun. It is fun. Period and comma. Question mark, apostrophe. Exclamation. Exclamation. So, boys and girls, now that you've done your punctuation song and we know the 3 mechanics, let's review them. Punctuation, spacing, and capital letters. I want you to press the pause button at the bottom of your screen on my video, which looks like this. This is our pause button. And I want you to go watch the book that's below this video, and it's called Yo Yes. And I want you to listen to that book once or twice, you choose, because it's a really short book, okay? And then I want you to come back and press the play button, okay? Alright, boys and girls, so you're back from reading that Yo Yes book, and it was kind of talking a little bit about what punctuation really does in a sentence, right? So he was like, yo! And he's like, what? Like, what do you want, you know? And you have to change the way that your voice. So if Miss Gish was saying, hi, she would be super, super excited, right? And if she was going to ask you, well, what color is your cat? She's asking you a question, right? Because she kind of was like, cat? Like she kind of twigs her voice a little bit and a little bit higher, right? And if I was just to do a period, I would say, My chair is yellow. And then you knew I was just saying something, right? So when we're super excited, we use our punctuation mark, a question or an exclamation mark. And when we're asking something, we use a question mark. And when we're just saying something, we do a period, right? So make sure those are in there. So today I'm going to challenge you to start with your hook with a exclamation mark. So I'm going to give you an example of what I want you to see today on your writing, and then I'm going to get you writing, okay? All right, here we go. Let's see, I am going to start with a fun hook that gets you excited. Okay. It goes slam, goes the door. Miss Gish is off on her walk. So I didn't finish my story, but I went slam, right? I went slam. Here we go. Fix this. Slam, goes the door. Miss Gish is off on her walk, period. Now I went slam, and you wanted to keep reading because you didn't know what went slam, right? So I went slam, goes the door. Miss Gish is off on her walk. And I would continue and tell you a story about what happened on a walk and what I saw and what I smelled and what I maybe tasted. I could taste the fresh air, right? I could smell the smell of spring. Maybe if it was raining, I could smell the smell of rain in my nose, right, boys and girls? So I want you to try to use the 3 mechanics in your writing, including with detail and adding verbs, right? So the 3 mechanics, review with me. Punctuation, you're using your spacing, and you're using your capital letters at the beginning of your sentences, right? So all my sentences start with a capital letter. And remember, if it's a name like Miss Gish, all of it's capital. Or Mrs. Johnson, Johnson would be capitalized too. But I wrote about myself. So your name, so if your name is, I will use Eli as an example. That's my fiance. If he was writing about himself, he would say Eli did this, or he could say I went on a walk today, and I would be capitalized because you're talking about yourself, right? So if you're talking about yourself, your name should be capitalized, okay, boys and girls? So Miss Gish was telling a story about herself, so her name would be capitalized, and that's what a narrative is. So go use your 3 mechanics, and you got this, boys and girls. I can't wait to see your writing. See you later.